Alright, so this is Katie. She's going to be my model for makeup tutorial. First things first, obviously start with a clean face. If you see the random glitter and eyeliner bits, I already tried one time and my phone died in the middle of the video. So, this is take two. We had to wash it off and start over. So you're going to start off and do liquid foundation. I don't care what brand, just as long as it matches their skin and it's liquid. The powder doesn't provide as much of a base for everything else to stick. You can use a sponge or like a foundation brush. I always like to use my fingers first and then use a sponge to smooth. Make sure you really get it all the way into every little crease. Do a little bit over their eyes. Also make sure it goes all the way up into their hairline, otherwise you end up with this weird line right here. And you can see right where their makeup stopped, so you don't want that line. And I know this isn't perfectly blended, we'll get to that with the sponge. Also make sure you get all the way under their chin, otherwise you have, again, a cutoff right there, and since the judges are looking from this way, you know, they'll see it. So, every little bit, make sure you get, and like I said, get in all the weird little creases. Alright, so then once it's covered, you're going to take a sponge, or if you don't have a sponge, just take a tissue, that's fine too. And just kind of blend it. Again, make sure it's all the way up into the hairline, all the way down. You don't want any like finger lines, so use this. And you can go over their lips, your lipstick is going to cover that and make that shape a little better. Next up, you're going to take blush. I have this, it's Wet n Wild, it's pearlescent pink. If you have a lighter, paler girl, go a little lighter at first and you can always add later. Go ahead and smile. Have her smile so you can see right where that cheekbone is, and then you're going to take it and you're going to take it all the way up into the temple. Then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. All the way up this way. Don't let it come down here, otherwise they look like they have weird saggy cheeks. Then you're going to take a little bit on their chin, nose, and forehead, and then without adding any more, you're going to brush over everything again, and that just kind of smooths and blends it. Alright. Next, we are going to do mascara. I have this Scandalized Retro Glam. You don't have to have this. I just really like this one. What you do need to make sure is that it's black and waterproof. Don't get the brown ones. I've made that mistake. They look really kind of funky, and they're going to be sweating and kind of running around. So make sure it's waterproof. If you have a blinker, kind of like Katie's being here, put it right.
You just stabbed me in the eye.
Whoops. Put it right in front and just have them blink, and it'll coat her lashes just like if you were doing it. Right, freeze your eyeball so I'm not jumping. Thank you. And one thing, have them stare at something, and that helps them not blink. Don't have them look at this, otherwise it's guaranteed blinkage. Like 100%. I always, when I was dancing and my mom did my makeup, I always stared right into her eyes. It worked for me, it might work for them. For eyeshadow, you can use anything. These are just a couple that I had. I don't require a specific thing. All I require is that you have a light, medium, dark, and then it's neutral shades. We don't want like the bright blues and greens and all this business. It just looks too crazy on stage. So you want to have natural shades and make sure you have a light, a medium, and a dark. So first we're going to start off with the lightest shade that you have, and you're going to take it all over on top of their eye, all the way up to the brow line from the lash line. So we're going to start here, and you're just going to really, really cover it. And you're not going to see a lot. That's okay. This is providing the base for everything else. Just make sure it's there. Right, next you're going to take the darkest shade that you have, and you're going to put it in this corner here, as well as in the crease. So if she opens her eye a little bit, you kind of see where the fold is, that's where you're going to put it. So close them again, put it right over that fold. And it's okay if it's not perfect. You don't want to go all the way in here because that'll darken the rest of her eye, but just get in there. I'm using one of these little brush things. You can also use this type that normally comes with them, that's just a little feltish thing. It doesn't matter. I personally like the brush because it's a little bit softer, just on my own eyes. That's what I use, so that's what I'm using on her. Make sure you kind of go out a little bit from the eye. Just makes the eyes look a little bit bigger. I'm bringing it in. And it's okay, like, they're not the same on both eyes. They're close enough. It doesn't have to be perfect. Right, next you're going to take that middle shade, and you're going to start in the middle, kind of towards the corner of the eye, and take it out towards the dark. And you're not going to go all the way out, just about halfway. You're going to meet it in the middle. So, in the corner, meet in the middle. So there's that. Next, you're going to do liquid eyeliner, and you can do the regular liquid eyeliner. I personally like this little guy. It's Wet n Wild. It's actually a felt tip pen. And it basically, when you use it, it's almost like using a marker. So I like it a lot. So you're going to have her close her eye, and you're going to start in the middle, and you're going to do short little strokes. And you're going to go from the inside to the outside, and you want it to be pretty thick. If you want to, you can start off small, like that, and then thicken it, go back over to thicken it up. That's usually the best bet. Once you get out here to the edge, you're going to draw a straight, kind of straight line, a curvy line up to the same direction as where her eyebrow ends. So you're going to go this way, just like that. And that's going to make her a cat eye later. So you can do the same thing over here. You're going to start in the middle. And again, it's okay if both eyes are not exactly even. Nobody's going to be looking that close. They're on stage. That's all you're going to know. So you just want to make sure it's dark enough that we can see it from far away in bright, bright light. So, and then again up towards her eyebrow. And it's okay if you mess or get weird little smudges. That's why we have the makeup remover and the Q-tips and all that. So usually once it gets to this point, before I have her open her eyes, I'm going to blow on it a little bit to let it dry. Alright. So now she's going to open it, and I'm going to have her look straight up as high as she can. And I'm going to start kind of almost in the middle, but not quite. A little closer to the inside. And I'm going to go out and do the same thing. Again, you want it thick. If it's not thick, they're not going to see it. Right, and then draw another little line up to follow the same line as the first one. So you're going to do the other side. And again, draw that line up to follow the same direction as the first one. Right. Next, I'm going to take a Q-tip with my makeup remover, and I just kind of pinch it on there to get a little bit wet. And I'm going to touch up these weird spots. If that doesn't seem to be working, if you have like the wipes like this and it's not dry enough, you can just take the wipe straight over, and it'll do the same thing. Just careful not to wipe off all your hard work. And that's a little thick. That's okay. I'm just going to leave it. I might thicken up the other side to match. Be careful doing that though. If you're not super steady, I would just leave it with one thicker than the other, because you could end up with like a giant blob trying to compensate, and we don't want that. Alright, next step, you're going to take the white. If you can find liquid, it stays a lot better. Walmart was out of the one brand that they had liquid in, so I just have the pencil, because my liquid ran out. So you're going to take it and you're going to put it right between those two lines. And it doesn't have to be super dark, you just want at least a little bit noticeable. Another reason we don't have to worry too much is that this white is going to cover up some of that thickness. And then you're going to take it, you're going to have her look up, you're going to start in the middle, and you're going to move straight out. And you're going to follow underneath that line going out there. And you're going to do the same thing over here. Straight out from the middle, and follow that line over there. Right. Up next, if you choose to use eyelashes, again, I'm not requiring them. If you choose to use them, they should come in something that looks kind of like that. You can also have ones, this is an old pack that I have, but like this, it doesn't matter which kind you use. They're not super specific by any means. They're just lashes. A lot of times, they will come and they're going to be wider than your eyes. That's so, everybody's eyes can have a fair share. You're going to put them over and you're going to start at the outside where that you made that V, and then you're going to measure in where you want to stop. Now, I usually go to right where the thick part of her lashes stops, which is right about here. So you don't want to go all the way to their nose. If you get it all the way to the inside edge, it's going to tickle her nose while she's dancing, and she's going to make some really weird faces on stage. Trust me, I know from experience. So I just cut off a little teeny tiny bit, and now that one fits her eye. Also, they're really long this way, so I'm going to cut just a little bit off the end so they're not quite as long. That makes it so it's not as uncomfortable for her to wear. Nobody's eyelashes are that long. We're worried about making them thicker, not longer. So that is what this is for. Also, if your kid might have glasses, it's really uncomfortable to wear long lashes with glasses. To put these lashes on, a lot of the lashes come with something that looks like this lash grip glue. This is actually white, and it dries white a lot of times. So I like this stuff, and they make other ones similar to it. This goes on dark, and it dries dark. That way you don't have to reapply the eyeliner that you already did. I am going to show you what both of them look like so you can kind of make your pick. If you just want to go, the cheaper route and not have to spend more money, just go with, find a set of lashes that has glue with it and just use that glue. The quality is no different. So for this one, I have a little brush thing on it, so I'm going to brush it really thin directly on the lashes. Even if the lashes say self-adhesive and don't come with glue, get a tube of glue, because you never know how good that adhesive is and how long they've been in the box. So you put it on there, and then you're going to leave it sit for a few seconds before you put it on her eye. This makes it tacky so that when you put it on, it doesn't slide across her face. So when I take it, I'm going to start it on the outside edge, press it down right on her lash line. So press it down and let it sit for a couple seconds, then push down the rest. That, again, it's so it doesn't slide. That gives it its starting point, and then you're just going to hold it for a couple seconds. You're going to have her open her eye halfway. And then she's going to sit like that while you get the other lash ready. So I'm going to go here, cut off just a little bit off the side to make it fit her eye. And then cut off a little bit on the length so it's not ridiculously long. Alright, so that was the black glue. This time I'm going to show you with the white one that comes with it. Because of how a lot of these are, a lot of them are just squeeze tubes, the whites. So I usually squeeze a little bit out, so I can get it out. It's going to pop on me. Okay. I usually squeeze a little bit out and then put it on the end of a Q-tip. And then take your lash and kind of draw it through. That way you don't get a super thick line by trying to squeeze it on. And this will help with the white showing up on her eyelashes as well. Alright, again, you're going to leave it for a few seconds so it gets a little tacky. And then you're going to have her close her eye, and you're going to start on the outside edge. Boop, boop, and you're going to hold it there for a second, and then you're going to push down the rest. Now, if you can kind of see how this one, you see those white spots, that's where the glue is. Those don't go away. So what we have to do is once this dries, open your eye just a little bit. Once these dry, we're going to have to go back over with more of the eyeliner just to cover that up. Again, it's up to you, but I know I was never good at eyeliner before, so I like that. So now that this one's dry, I'm just going to do it just so I can make sure they're even, and this is also a good time to touch up anything else. If you lose part of the line, like if you don't see the eyeliner anymore under the lashes, go ahead and thicken it up and put some more on top. You would rather have more than not enough because you really want to make sure they see your eyes. So now that this one's dry, I'm going to kind of go over and I'm going to cover that light spot up and these light spots over here. Then our next step, you're going to take that mascara again and you're going to kind of push the new lashes and the old and her natural lashes together. And you're going to do the bottom again just for good measure. You really want it to pop. You're going to do the new lash lashes, no lashes. Then you can do the bottom again. Again, you really want it to pop. Alright. Last but not least, you're going to take your lipstick. And you can have her open her mouth a little bit. Draw on that Cupid's arrow. Draw on right there. Then you want to make sure you go all the way out to the edges of her mouth. If you stop right here, when she's facing sideways, you kind of lose her lip because you didn't put lipstick over there. So if you come this way, you see how you can still see it over there even when she's not looking straight at you. That's what you want. So you want to make sure you get all the way to both edges, top and bottom. If you want to use lip liner, you absolutely can. Make sure it is a shade darker than your lipstick. And I will get exactly what lipstick. The one I have is really old and they don't make it anymore, so I have to find the matching shade, but that is alright. So, that is the part that I will have you do at home. I'll have you practice it and come in with this for class on the 16th. That way we can make sure I can help you out if you need it, and all of that.